This is W2FDB. You're about to listen to the Sussex County Amateur Radio Net. You can find out more information at www.scarcnj.org. Tonight we're going to be talking about a VHF contest we have coming up and also an HF contest. So we're going to be talking about field day and all the great things that have to go on with that event. Hope you enjoy. Have a great night. Hi, very good, sir. Very good. So I got you on the top of the list. I think you're actually on the top of the list most of the time, so very good. Well, K9ZOZ, thanks a lot for joining the Sussex County Amateur Radio Club Tuesday night activity hour ride chewing and DXing net. We can be found right here every Tuesday night on 147.30 with the PL tone to 151.4 from 8 p.m. to 9. This is an open hour. Anyone is welcome to join. You do not need to be a member of the club to join in the conversation. As I say every week, but again, definitely make sure you check it out. Go to the club website, see all the activities we have coming up. We're going to be very busy for the next couple of months, which is really, really cool. Most of the time it's going to either be consisting of flipping burgers, selling stuff, or calling CQ, or hopefully calling QRZ as well. So definitely go ahead and check out the club website at www.scarcnj.org. That's whiskey.Sierra Charlie Alpha Romeo Charlie November Juliet.Oscar Romeo Golf. I'm just going to let it drop for 1 second. My name is Frank, W2FDB, Whiskey 2 Fantastic Delta Bravo, and I'll be net control for tonight. And this is a directed net, so all communications are with the direction of net control. So there you go. Probably memorized that already by now. So in addition to K9ZOZ, would anyone else like to check in? This is W2FDB.
W2FDB, A2BOG Mobile. Good evening, Frank.
W2FDB, FDB, this is KD2FAQ. Good evening, folks.
Alrighty, we've been joined by K2BOG, KD2FAQ, and one ending in Zulu Foxtrot. Nancy 2 Zulu Foxtrot. Oh, very good, sir. Thank you very much. Does anyone else want to check into the net? This is W2FDB. Alrighty, and N2HMM. Well, very good. Well, a couple more stragglers will probably show up very shortly. Obviously, we're fighting with the bright lights outside still. So K9ZOZ, over to you, sir. Good evening. We definitely had a pretty interesting conversations about sticky stuff and non-sticky stuff. I guess that's a good way of pointing it out. So K9ZOZ, good evening, sir. This is W2FDB. Very good, K9ZOZ, W2FDB. And the good thing about it, though, is every antenna is only $19.95, right? I guess someone told me that. K2BOG, good evening, sir. Thanks a lot. Are you mobile right now, or are you stationary? And thanks a lot for checking in. K2BOG, this is W2FDB.
Hey, fine. This is K2BOG Mobile in a place you're familiar with, Hamburg, New Jersey. Just heading to uptown Vernon. I caught some of your discussions earlier. It's funny you're talking about old cans laying around the garage. And my wife is with me. She'll attest to the fact that I have shelf after shelf of both obsolete, usable, non-usable cans of fluids, aerosols. For some reason, I have a fairly large collection of starting fluid, which, by the way, makes great cricket killer. If anybody's interested. And
K2BOG W2F2. Well, very good, sir. Yeah, you probably just passed right by my place. So very good, sir. And yeah, you never know when you may need that. You never know when you need that type of liquid. And yeah, starter fluid. And I don't know, just passing it back to you real quick. Is that maybe it's the same reason I have mine, but does it have to do with snowblowers in any reason why you have a collection of starter fluids?
So funny. Snow blowers, outboard motors, anything that won't start and has a spark plug on it or in it.
Very good. Yeah, that was like one of the things that I always picked up was, I'm like, what, it's going to snow. Do I have a can of starter fluid? So yeah, I probably have too many of those, but you never know. So very good. And thanks a lot for checking in. KD2FAQ, good evening, sir. Voice is sounding like it's coming back, so thanks a lot for checking in, sir. Over to you. KD2FAQ, this is W2FDB.
W2FDB, this is KD2FAQ. Yeah, I'm slowly on the mend here. Feeling a little bit better, a little less doped up. I have another solution for starting fluid, which I use. There's a pro and a con. The pro is good for poison ivy. If you're playing with poison ivy, you rub a little starting fluid and it takes it right out. And the con is unknown at this point in time. I haven't gotten cancer yet, but who knows what the long-term effects may be. KD2FAQ.
Very good. Hey, the multi-purpose. It's starting fluid could probably be the duct tape of the automotive world. And like the binder clip is the duct tape of the office world. N2ZF, over to you, sir. Thanks a lot for checking in. This is W2FDB. Hi, Mark. We got the beginning of that right up until about something about a switch, and then we lost you there, sir. So, yeah, I don't know if you're mobile or wherever you are, but I think you also said you might be having a problem with something. So, I'll just pass it back to you again to see if you want to give it another try. N2ZF, this is W2FDB. Alrighty, sir, got you going to another radio and coming back on the next go-around. Well, very good, sir. Thanks a lot. And to HM, good evening, sir. Hope all is well with you. Hope you're enjoying the nice weather as well. I have a little noisy upstairs, so if I have to run away real quick, could you pick it up? But anyway, good evening, sir. And to HM, this is W2FDB.
with her, and I think she really is trying to get that spreadsheet completely filled during the entire week for digital, CW, sideband, as well, on all the bands. So it's quite an undertaking. So if you are planning on, let it drop here. If you are planning to participate either with SCARC, with the club, because we do plan on setting up a club station, or from your own home QTH, I suggest you show up and attend the meeting so you can get an idea of what she has in mind. This Friday I will not be there. I am attending my son's college graduation. Unfortunately, but Walt should be there in 2WM. If not, then Frank will be taking it. So we are well covered. And one last item, we do have the VHF contest. It is a month away, so 4 weeks. So if you want to join us on the mountain, setting up for the VHF frequencies, you are more than welcome. If you are not, I am going to request everybody try to work us on 2-meter FM at least, and there'll be more information about that in the newsletter. So please, we're always looking for more help. Back to Ned and to HMN.
Very good. N2HMM W2FTB. Very good, sir. Thanks a lot. And yeah, I mean, I know we haven't really talked that much about W1AW /2 at all, but I think we can be looking for also not only operators but also loggers as well. So if you want to be involved, I know we still have to work out all the details of that, but if you want to be involved but don't want to work a pile up, you could certainly log it as well. I know I've learned a lot. I sat alongside Neil on a couple of the contests, N2IEL, learned a lot from him just logging for him. Picking out stuff and then hearing how he was going to work in the piles as well, and picking out different calls. So again, just you may not be able to operate or want to operate, but just sitting there listening, well, you'll just pick out so much. And like I said, that was the first one. And it was I learned a ton from him. So again, just want to see if anyone else wants to check in. Does anyone else want to check into the net tonight? This is W2FTB. Alrighty, well, nothing heard. Definitely see where it goes. But yeah, as far as the storm, when we get to K2BOG, got the weather thing in the mail. It's all set up. It's kind of funny looking out over the backyard and seeing this thing glowing with the light, but we'll get to that in just 1 second. But yeah, K9ZOZ, over to you, sir. Yeah, definitely hope to, now that the shack is getting back in order, I definitely want to get back on the air and get back to, not JT65, but PSK. I was definitely having a lot of fun with PSK, and then had a couple little issues over here, but hopefully they'll get all resolved very shortly. So yeah. K9ZOZ, this is W2FTB.
So we'll be working GT65
Very good. K9 said is a W250. Well, very good, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely. The 80 meter dipole is definitely going to be a lot of fun. And speaking of 80 meters, don't forget we have a net on Thursday night. So there is a 75 meter net. Off the top of my head, I cannot think of the frequency, but I want to say it's 3963. I don't know if that's correct or not, but we have a net on Thursday nights as well. So very good. K2BOG, over to you, sir. So did you get your thing in the mail? It's mine's all set up, ready to go, and ready to get the monsoon on Thursday and Friday. K2BOG Mobile, this is W2FTB.
I sure did, K2BOG. I think it's pretty impressive for $10. It's a pretty bright solar light that sits on top of the thermometer, and that rain gauge is fully swivelable and looks quite readable. Fred probably got his also. It could be only the three of us ordered it. We'll have to compare notes and see how much rain we each got at our respectful locations. But I'll guess a full moon. Very nice. Just pulled in the driveway up here, so I will sign out of here. And I hope you enjoy the rain gauge and thermometer, and I hope they last a while. Back to Ned, K2BOG signing clear. Good night, all.
Very good, sir, and thanks a lot. Yeah, definitely, I was definitely amazed for $10 how much it was, or $9, $10 with shipping and handling. So, yeah, I was definitely amazed by that. So, yeah, I have to step away for just 1 second. So, KD2FAQ, over to you, sir, and then if you could pass it over to N2ZF, and then if he's not there, over to John. I'll be right back. W2FTB.
This is KD2FAQ. I also purchased one of those thermometers from the Sportsman's Guide. Yeah, good deal for $10. Nice thermometer, well lit, and a nice rain gauge you can take off and dump out and clean. I'm looking forward to using that. I have it strapped out to one of the roller railings on my deck at this point in time. So we'll see how it works. We can compare notes, as Fred said. With that said, I'll pass it along over to you, John, and to HMN. This is KD2FAQ.
Do I have it? Well, I guess so. N2HMM returning. Let's see. Yeah, we will have a 75 meter net Thursday night. Most likely I will not be able to make that net. I have asked Neil and 2IE control. It is on 3862. Reason being, I'll be heading south and I don't have an 80 meter antenna on the truck. Well, I don't have a truck either. Right now, that's in the shop too. So anyway, but it's 3862. If Neil doesn't pick it up, anybody can. It's just a general open net, and just for ha-has, hellos, and any other comments. Let's see what else. What I might add. Yeah, in 6 weeks is field day. That's going to be on us in no time. Just a quick dump on that. Yeah, we do run a 5A station this year. That means we'll have every band operational simultaneously. That's 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. So we will be running PSK, we will be running sideband, and we will be running CW. We also will have a 6 meter station. I do not know at this time if we'll have a satellite station. It depends on time. Anyway, I don't know who gets it. I guess it goes back to Ned. If not, I guess I can pick it up, or maybe Joe, you can. Back to Ned, whoever it may be, and to HMN.
W2FTB. Very good. Sorry about that. And thanks a lot for running that. And I apologize if I missed anything. But yeah, very good. The FA station is going to be fantastic, having all those bands and having all that operation. And again, to anyone that's new, if you can, fit it into your schedule, definitely see if you can make it out to that one. If you can't make it up to VHF, which hopefully on the VHF I'll give out the right frequency this year. But again, as far as that, again, if you want to see what's all going on and see everything that's going on, that's, if you can show up, even for a short period of time, which we hope you can stay longer, but if you happen to show up for a short period of time, you will see and hopefully pick up a lot as well. Yeah, sorry, we had the tooth fairy coming to the house tonight, so they were all concerned about how the tooth fairy is going to get in the house to make sure the doors and all the stuff is all set up. So that's the big thing that's going on. So I just want to see if anyone else wants to check in. Does anyone else want to check into the net tonight? Sort of just talking about anything that's going on. We have had some, great conversations in the past as well from just questions that come up. So does anyone have any questions or want to check in? This is W2FDB. KD2 FAQ, over to you, sir. I apologize. Did we go through the right rotation, or I don't know, but over to you, sir.
Yeah, I just went, I passed it over to John. John passed it over to you, Frank. But I just had a question about the field day as well as the 2-meter contest. For us new hams, could you just give us a brief overview of exactly what the 2-meter contest would consist of in field day? I guess it would be a bunch of contests at all different frequencies. Maybe either you or John can give us just a brief overview of exactly what the day consists of.
Yeah, very good. And great question, sir. Yeah, definitely for the new ham. So if you don't mind, John, if I can pass it over to you, because you definitely know how that works. So N2HM, over to you, sir, if you don't mind answering those questions.
No, not at all. Let me see if I have it. And to HM returning. The VHF contest, which is officially kicks off on, for us anyway, Thursday, June 12th. Now, we're not, a couple of individuals go up to the top of the mountain. Where's the top of the mountain? If you look at the Kittatinny Ridge, you'll see the long, large, tall tower on the Kittatinny Ridge, just north of Culver's Lake, just north of 206. We are about a quarter-mile north on top of that ridge from that long, tall, 150, whatever, 200-foot tower. That's the Beamerville Tower. We set up at the base of the Normanuk Fire Tower. There's an observation fire tower there. We set up at the base of that. We have permission from the Forest Fire Service to go up the dirt road that's there to access the fire tower, and we set up at the base of the fire tower. Thursday evening, the 12th, a couple of guys go up there to set up tents and tables and some lean-tos and tarps and so on. Friday the 13th is when we put up 4 towers, 3 towers, 3 towers. One, I'm trying to remember. One tower consists of a very large 6-meter beam. Another tower consists of a very large 2-meter beam. And the third tower consists of two 222 antennas and a pair of 432 antennas. Let me let it drop. We put all those antennas up Thursday during the course of the day. We're also, as the day progresses, set up 4 radio stations inside a tent that was set up generally the previous evening. And we set up tables inside that tent and set up a plethora of electronic gear. Computers, radios, power amplifiers, and so on. And we hooked that all up. And we test it, and we make sure everything's working. And Saturday morning, the 14th, we usually just put the strings on everything, make sure everything's working properly. By the way, during this whole time, we're just sleeping up there in tents and camping out. It's just a big camp out. So, but at 2 o'clock on June 14th, the contest starts. And the point is to work as many stations and as many grid squares as possible over a 36-hour period. Meaning this contest does not end until 11 o'clock Sunday night. So during this time, we are operating on and off all weekend long from the top of that mountain. 11 o'clock Sunday night, we go to bed. And Monday morning, we tear it all down. So that's the gist of it. We work 6 meters, 2 meters, 222, and 432. Let me let it drop. And it is a major effort, but it's also, we're quite a
chair calling CQ and hoping somebody comes back to you. So we want very high power on all the stations. This year we'll have a kilowatt on 6 meters, 2 meters, 432, and 250 watts on 222. Hope to have a kilowatt next September for 222. That's it for the VHF. Now let me move on to field day. 2 weeks later, June 12th. I hope I'm not wearing everybody out and everybody's passed out. June 27th is a Friday. Starting 2 p.m. on June 27th, we set up a station at Line Technology. I shouldn't say a station, it's a number of stations. But what we do is take the club tower, set that up, and on top of that is a large HF antenna that has 4 bands on it. It's capable of 40, 20, 15, and 10, all on one antenna. Then we also have an 80-meter loop we put up and a 6-meter beam. And we set up a circus tent, and we have grills, and we set up tables and computers and radios all over the place. And we start that at 2 o'clock Friday afternoon on the 27th. Field day itself starts 2 o'clock Saturday, and then runs continuously for 24 hours. At that time, we prefer to have people behind those radios for 24 hours straight. And again, SCARC is a very competitive club. I believe we were 13th in the country or 12th in the country last year, which was a very, very good showing. And so really 27th at 2 o'clock things go into high gear, and we're setting up, and we have a large circus tent, and we have a storage trailer full of stuff, and there'll be more than enough people to guide you. There's more than enough tasks to do. I hope I answered everybody's question or questions. If not, just direct them back to me. Over to you, Frank, and to HF.
Into HM, W2FTB. Yeah, if you don't mind, why do we do the 6 meters, 2 meters, 220, and 432 at the top of the mountain? Though to me, it sounds like Line Technology really isn't really at a high mountain over there. Why is one location different than the other?
Okay, well, VHF, if you don't have propagation, all right, meaning some kind of like sporadic E conditions or ducting, where your 2-meter signal, your 6-meter signal, even your 432 signal will go out to some extended range due to enhanced propagation. If those factors don't occur, the only thing you have is line of sight. So for line of sight to go out as far as possible,
Yeah, and to HMM W2FW. Very good, sir. Yeah, that definitely explains as far as why that is, and why we also want to run a lot of power behind VHF. While I believe in most cases, in HF we can't operate barefoot, as some people would say. So actually, I want to pass it over to KD2FAQ. There's a lot of other questions that possibly run into your mind, but over to you, sir. See if everything else is going up pretty well, and hopefully that John answered many of your questions. KD2FAQ, over to you, sir. This is W2FTB. Hey, go ahead, John.
John, thank you so much. It brings a lot into light. Sounds like two long, arduous affairs where you can learn a lot about the aspect of radioing. And look forward to at least seeing some of it, if not all of it, on both of them. But appreciate the overview. I've been wanting to ask that question for a while. I just had never had the opportunity. Sometimes it just comes natural to you guys that you mention these things, you know what they are, but you gotta have somebody asking the dumb questions. This is KD2FAQ.
5, 80, 40, 20, 15, 10.
Little doubling.
6 meters does not count. It's a bonus station, but it does not count as a operating station per the rules. Alpha means we're running off alternative power, such as a generator, and Northern New Jersey, of course, is our section, and that's the exchange. For VHF contest, our exchange is FN21. Okay?
He doubled with you.
Where Northern New Jersey, Northeast PA, and Southern New York is. The grid square is a 2 degree by 1 degree block, and the entire planet is broken up into these grid squares, into these blocks. And multipliers are the grid squares. So if you work 100 stations in one grid square, you're only going to get 100 points. But if you work one station in 100 grid squares, you're going to get those grid squares all as multipliers. And our effort is to try to work as far out and get as many grid squares as possible during the course of the weekend. There has been times when conditions where, like last year, we worked on 222 megahertz, Missouri. So there are possibilities, there are opportunities to work quite far out there. And then there are other times conditions just are awful. So you just never know what you're going to get. But that's part of the fun. And the other part of the fun is the camping, the camaraderie, and the the effort it takes to do this. The radio part is part of the fun. I think the other part is the challenge. To do this in the outdoors. It's just, to me, that's the best. Back to that and to HF.
Hi, very good. N2 HMM and KD2FAQ. You both sort of doubled there, and Joe won for most of it, and then obviously John, you picked up the end. So yeah, very good. So again, just just as a word of caution, next time when you guys do have a couple things going around, just if you can, if I don't tell you who next to talk, if you can just give it a second to see if anyone else picks it up, and then just let it drop for a second to see if you actually do get it. But John, we got got a lot of the helpful information as far as the grid squares, where we want to go, and the different frequencies as far as that. And Joe, there's never any of those types of questions. Ask anything that you want, because again, just like anywhere else, if someone has a question, chances are there's a ton of other people with the exact same question. So it's very good, and it definitely explains a lot of things as far as how they're both set up. There's sort of two different kind of things. But again, there's one major thing about both of them. They sound nothing like repeater operation. So, when you hear, I don't know, John, were you there that one time that I couldn't hear that call? And I think it was Nick that just picked it right out. N2 HMM, this is W2FTB.
No, didn't get you on direct.
Now, there was a bunch of people around, and it was one of those contests, and I kept having the person repeat it, and I think it was Nick. I don't know. But he like picked it right out. Like he heard the call sign, and I was like, everyone was laughing, and I couldn't pick it out. But yeah, you want to hear about weak propagation? That definitely is going to be it. So, but I think that's how. But yeah, like I said, it's nothing like repeater operation or D-Star for that example. You really are using all the dials on the radio to try and work in as many weak stations as you possibly can. Yeah, that was fantastic. So just want to see if anyone else wants to check in. Does anyone else want to check into the net tonight? This is W2FTV. All right, very good. KD2ZZV, very good, sir. Got you on the list there. Alrighty, so we're going to go back up to K9ZOZ, and then we'll just work down. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll go over to KD2DZV. Over to you, sir, and then we'll go back to the top list. Good evening, sir. Since we're talking about Field Day, VHF contest, hopefully we can be able to get to see you during one of those contests, or maybe both of them. There's a lot of John covered a lot of stuff. Don't know if maybe you would have a follow-up question, anything that went on there. And yes, we do take care of any of your dietary needs. Everything has a side of grease in some way or another. So, KD2DZV, this is W2FTV. Good evening.
W2FTV, this is KD2DZV. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I did have one question regarding the field day. I was wondering who brings all the equipment? Does everybody kind of chip in, bring their own rig, or how would that work? This is KD2DZV.
KD2DZV, W2FTV. I'll pick up as much as I can and I'll probably leave it open for John for anything that I miss. We're going to have different, I guess, station captains or band captains or band leaders. So for the most part, those people that be running those different bands will be in charge of those radios for those different stations. So those people, will be bringing their radios for those, and they'll have, in some cases, their voice talker if they have it, or their mic or their headset, those types of things. Kelly will be taking care of the majority of, I believe he's going to be taking care of all the computers for this one as well. So that way he can network them all together, get them all talking very, very well. And then as far as the antennas, they're a combination of different club antennas. So our main tower antenna is going to be there, and we'll have another antenna there as well. I believe it's the same one we use on the top of the mountain for the VHF contest, so the antenna is different, but the mast is the same, and that'll give us those. So it's a majority of those types of things that are all set up. So I'll pass it over to John just really quickly the way I covered it, but if I missed anything. And to HMM, this is W2FTB.
Yeah, W2FTV and 2HMM. Yeah, Frank, we have a club tower. Many of you might have seen it during sweepstakes, maybe not. It's a 45-foot crank-up tower that we built ourselves about 10, 12 years ago. On top of that tower will be a Force 12 antenna called a C4 SXL. It is a two-element, four-band antenna. And the way it's configured is that you can transmit four stations simultaneously from one antenna. And I'm not going to get into the details, but it's got individual antenna elements on one boom. That antenna is actually mine, and I bring that along for the club to use. The tower is the club's tower. So anyway, we have a big circus tent, cooking equipment, and so on. That is all club property. The generator is one of the club members. We have a little, 6,500 watt Honda inverter, very quiet. That's one of the club members. For the stations, the 80-meter station is a club radio. The 40-meter station is K2DFC's radio. The 20-meter station is going to probably be my K3. The 15-meter station will be the club radio. It's a Tech Orion. The other station will be an 847, which is my radio. So it's really a combination of club material and it is, we have a network of computers, as Frank was mentioning. All the computers are networked together. This way everybody can see what everybody else is doing. The computers are also have the PSK31 software on board, so we can run PSK from certain radios. The radios have voice talkers to save your voice. Some of the radios have CW keys. A lot of the radios have headsets with boom mics. Radios have foot switches. All have keyboards. It's quite a NASA type of setup. I think that's why we're so competitive. We've really done a beautiful job in doing this. This is a very similar situation as the VHF contest. It's a combination of club material and personal material. We do it ourselves, and it works out pretty good. A lot of coordination is required, but it works out all right. Back to net and to HF.
Very good. And to HMM W2FTB. KD2 DZV, over to you, sir. Hope that answered your question.
W2FDB, yes. Thanks for the information. And to HMM, was always wondering how many people were involved. It sounds like it's all hands on deck for that type of event, which it probably is. And I appreciate all the information. And sounds like there's an awful lot going on there. Back to Ned. This is KD2DZV.
Go ahead, John.
Yes, it is all hands on deck. This includes the Hamfest too, I might add, which we haven't been talking much about this net, but the Hamfest is very big. All hands are needed. Field day, we need a lot of people because there's a lot of stuff going on. Even if it's your first field day, people will direct you on what to do. We have to put up an 80-meter loop. We've never done that before, so we're giving that a shot. So that's going to take some work. We have a tower and antennas to put together. We have a couple of towers and antennas to put together. Radios to set up, cables to run, the circus tent to put up, the tarps to put up, tables, chairs to install, the grill. We're going to need help people getting food and ice, and so it's quite an undertaking. Same thing with the mountaintop. Mountaintop, we bring up a trailer full of elements, metal, tower sections, and extension cords, and tarps, and tents, and and then we're there the whole time just setting stuff up, all for the love of the hobby. And it is a challenge, but that's part of the fun, is the challenge. Getting out there and fighting the elements, dealing right around the corner. Back to that and to HMN.
Very good. Into HMM W2FTB. Very good, sir. Thanks a lot. Yeah, definitely. I have to say, I was definitely, very, very, very surprised as far as how it is all set up. It works perfectly, for the most part, but when you look at all the stuff that's getting set up there, it's amazing. Any of it works, but it all works out very, very well. And at the end of the day, when the numbers start coming in, and to hear how competitive we are, it's definitely, you guys have definitely been working out a lot of the kinks for many, many years. So very good. Oh, very good. I guess what we'll do is we'll just go down the list right now and go from there and see how it goes. Everyone, thanks a lot for checking in. And again, if you are sitting on the side and just want to support the net, you can by all means do that. Just get your name on the list, and I won't call on you. Just put you on the side. But again, any questions, topics, those types of things, please let me know. And again, I always do appreciate the feedback. I send out that recap as much as I can, and it always is really cool to hear the conversation that starts from those as well. So. K9ZOZ, over to you, sir. Thanks a lot for checking in, and definitely it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll be able to see you at Field Day this year. K9ZOZ, good evening. This is W2FDB.
W2FDB, K9ZOZ. Yeah, well, it's in my plans. I don't know if I'm going to do 2 days again, but it's definitely in my plans for one of them. And it's such an enjoyable 73 group. It's been great. Thank you very much, Frank. And for those attending the meeting, I'll see you there. For those that are not, I'll see you next week. W2FDB with Group K9ZOZ.
Hi, very good, sir. Thanks a lot for checking in. It's always great to hear from you, sir, and it's always nice to have you on the list. So, again, thanks a lot for checking in. I think KD2BOG went that away. KD2FAQ over to you, sir. As you can definitely hear, it's definitely going to be a great event. Hope you can join one, if not both, of the events if time allows. It definitely is a lot of, it's a great time. And also, too, the conversation that happens when you're not, on the air. I could just sit there and listen to everyone just telling stories about all the different past years and how it never rains on the top of the mountain. So KD2FAQ over to you, sir. Hope it's great to hear you back on the air and a quick recovery as well. So KD2FAQ over to you, sir. This is W2FDB.
W2FDB, this is KD2FAQ. Yeah, it sounds like a great time. With all the circus tents, I would imagine there'll be a lot of clowns as well. So that would probably be the good times at night, just telling scary stories and things like that as well. Sounds like a great time. I look forward to it. And John, thank you for your dissertation. It was pretty informative to me as well as I'm assuming others as well. I'll pass my 73s on. I'll be sitting on the side for now. I'm starting to get a little hoarse. This is KD2FAQ.
Very good, sir. KD2FAQ, W2F2, very good. And thanks a lot for checking in. N2ZF, sorry about that, sir. We sort of got in a little bit of a conversation and went from there. So N2ZF, Mark, thanks a lot for checking in. Hope you can join us again down the road as well. So N2ZF, over to you, sir. This is W2FDB. All right, very good. Sorry about that. Hopefully, I know he's moving over to another radio as well. So, well, anyway, hope he checks in again down the road. N2HMM, over to you, sir. Speaking of horse. But yeah, before I jump into you real quick, if you don't mind, as you pointed out before, the weather's going to be starting back up on Thursday and Friday. As some of you may know, the best member at large here in Sussex County is also running Skywarn as well. So, if you happen to want to listen on a Skywarn net, keep an eye out for your emails as well. If you want to hear some more about it, we hopefully will maybe be running a Skywarn net again. That's depending on the weather. So keep an ear out either here or 146925 for a Skywarn net. Basically, what that's going to be collecting is weather data. If the storm does cause flooding, down trees, down power wires, we want to hear about that. But we also want to hear about that very, very specifically. So not just say, oh, I heard there's a tree down. I want to know the tree is down at the intersection of this intersection and that intersection, those types of things. So, again, keep your ear out. If the storm happens to get bad, you'll probably either see a skarkel or something. So, with that said, N2HMM, over to you, sir. Good evening, and thanks a lot for all that very helpful information. I'm definitely looking forward to it. N2HMM, this is W2FDB.
Yeah, very good, Frank. N2HMM returning. If anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me via email or whatever. Club roster, phone, even through the repeater here. Glad to answer any of your questions. I know it's a little bit hard to understand if you're new to the hobby and you hear all these things and try to put in your mind's eye how this whole thing is structured. It's controlled chaos, but it does work, and we're very competitive, but at the same time we have a really good time, and a lot of people enjoy it. We have a disco ball we put up, and we start dancing, and we do all these little bizarre things, but it's fun. And at the same token, we come in really pretty good scores for a bunch of people that half the time are hacking around. So, but if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. 7-3s, everybody, and talk to everyone soon. Back to that, and Twitch, man.
Very good. Thanks a lot, John. And yeah, 73, sir, and thanks a lot for checking in. If there was any confusion for anyone who did get the emails, The Skywarn nets, as of right now, will probably be the first and third Tuesdays. So they'll be the first and third Tuesdays. Again, we may do a little more changing of that. And we do appreciate everyone standing by as we're trying to figure out the best time slot for them. So again, if there was confusion about the Skywarn net after today, hopefully it'll be next Tuesday. So KD2 DZV, over to you, sir. Thanks a lot for checking in, sir. It's always good to hear from you as well, and hopefully you can make it out to one. If again, some of the events we have going on. I'm not trying to pressure you, but as member at large is what I have to do. So it's in my contract. KD2 DZV, over to you, sir. This is W2FDB.
W2FTB, this is KD2DZV. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to make a concentrated effort to get to one of the, definitely the field day and maybe one of the contests this year, as I've been a ham for about a year now. So, I will have to get there and see what it's all about and get an education in that. Other than that, again, thanks for keeping the website up to date, Frank, and fresh, and keeping it with all the interesting articles. And with that said, I will say 73s. This is KD2DZV.
All right, very good, sir. Thanks a lot. Yeah, definitely look forward to seeing you hopefully at a couple of those events. And again, too, just to point out the website as well. If anyone wants to, work on it or wants to contribute any information that's there, if you want to learn more about HTML or WordPress or anything like that, let me know. I don't have to have all the funds, so you can definitely, let me know, and we can certainly work on some schedules as far as, working on some updates or what have you. There's a lot of great stuff in the club, a lot of great things that are going on, and in some cases just a few people working on it. So if you, again, want to learn on something or, even run these nets, I really enjoy these nets. At first, they're a little bit of a learning curve, but now I feel a lot better with them. And again, I think I learn a lot because I'm here every week and hearing all the stuff that's going on. So by all means, again, if you want to run a net in the future or have a topic for one, just as John pointed out, you can email us and let us know. The more times you're going to get on the radio, hopefully the better everyone will be. Maybe someday I'll get better. Anyway, so I have to, since Joe's having all the jokes. Anyway, so with that said, again, everyone, thanks a lot for checking in. Hope you enjoyed the net. Hope you pulled away something as well and learned something from the net. So this is W2FTB. I'll say 73 all. Have a great night.